Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. That is Jack. I am Conrad. This is the 45. We will take a look at match week 1 English Premier League, even though it feels like match week 38 just happened last week.
Quick turnaround. Very exciting.
Indeed. First question for us, will we see Leeds get Norwich? Norwich came to Anfield after their championship-winning season, got smoked 4-1. How will Leeds fare?
Yeah, first goal of the 2019-2020 Premier League season was an own goal from Grant Hanley, so they're going to hope for a bit of a better performance in this season. Leeds will. I think they're going to get that. Better defensively, as we've mentioned before, previously talking about Leeds in comparison to Norwich. And I think that they'll have a good showing for themselves. I think we're both unified in the fact that they're not going to be able to come away with the 3 points or maybe a point. But I think they'll have a good showing for themselves against a very talented Liverpool side.
Yeah, I think of the 3 clubs, promoted clubs this year, Leeds have the best shot at stealing something, but I just don't see it happening. I think it will be a high-scoring game, like a 3-2 to Liverpool, but I don't think Leeds will manage to see this one through. Next up, Chelsea going to Brighton. Will they hit the ground running? Will they pick up where their promising season ended last year?
Yeah, and I think that the big thing for Chelsea is those new signings. Ziyech, Pulisic having his second full season. And I've got Havertz and Werner, that German duo. Very excited to see them. They got into training last 2 weeks, I believe. I think they will. Brighton are not an easy side. They're bringing Ben White back from Leeds, we just mentioned, who was on loan with them last season. So they're a good, solid team who constantly get underrated every season. So they're not going to be an easy challenge for Frank's men. But I think they will. I like their signings a lot. They made some really, really nice moves. Thiago Silva is going to add some great experience at the back. They'll hope that he's the better Brazilian partner of David Luiz back in that 2014 Brazil side. I think that they will. Havertz and Werner, will they be able to start that match is still up in the air. If they do, I have high hopes for not only for the first match against Brighton, but the entire season for Chelsea's new signings.
Agree. I think Chelsea takes this fairly straightforward fashion, like a 3-1 type of finish here. Okay, so we've got 3 Premier League debutants this weekend. Leeds, West Brom, Fulham, over/under on 1.5 total points accumulated by those clubs this weekend.
They're having some pretty tough matches, and not easy by any regards.
Liverpool, Leeds, Fulham, Arsenal, West Brom, Leicester.
Those are some good teams. All of them finished in the top 8 last season. They're going to be tough tests for these newly promoted sides. And we're being a little harsh on the newbies, but I think we're saying, for me personally, definitely the under and as low as it could possibly be. I think that none of those guys are going to get a point. I wouldn't be surprised. And I think you have a very similar to I do.
Yeah, 0, I think, is what the number is, in the way I look at it. Next up, who will win the battle of the others? Sheffield United and Wolves finished just outside those European spots last year. I see Sheffield United drifting back a little bit. I think Wolves will continue to be just outside that top 6. I think Wolves will have the better hand in this one.
I think we both of us imagine Sheffield United falling back a little bit last year because I'm not going to name any names, but some people in this room felt they might get relegated, and they didn't. So we obviously didn't really have that high hopes for them last season, and I think we just kind of don't like them, clearly, and we want to get them out of the league.
Not really true.
But I think that this is, again, speaks to the quality of the Premier League. So high. This is going to be a great matchup. And obviously the big 6 traditional sides have great matches. But when you have this kind of match that is a tantalizing affair, this is one of the most exciting matches of the weekend, I think this one's going to go in favor of Wolves. I'm really excited to see how some of their signings pan out this season. They made some really nice moves.
And they did lose Doherty.
Yeah, that'll be interesting
Spurs.
as well. That'll be interesting.
Next up, last question. Who will get the better result this weekend, Palace or Hammers?
Two sides we had getting relegated in 18th place.
Yeah, Palace home to Southampton, West Ham home to Newcastle.
Yeah, this is it's going to be interesting because these are the kind of matches where they're not teams I think that are around their finishing places, at least in our eyes, but I think that they got to get these kinds of points in matches that are doable because obviously we both have them getting relegated this season. And you had that as a coin flip between Palace and West Ham. These kinds of things. Now, I think that it's going to be interesting to see how Eberechi Eze does for Crystal Palace moving into the big leagues. And Wilfried Zaha did not have a good season last year. And I think he's got to make a big step up. I think I'm going to back Crystal Palace here simply because I had West Ham going down, so I'm going to stick by my crystal ball prediction of West Ham getting relegated.
Yeah, I think Newcastle are going to come out and take hammers out, so I think Palace will do better here. Maybe that's a draw potentially, but I don't like either of these teams. I don't feel comfortable. And is this a 6-pointer already? Like the first match of the season, is it a 6? Is this a relegation 6-pointer?
I'm excited for the season, honestly. Can't even wait to get started.
That'll do it for us for the look at the first weekend of the 2020-2021 Premier League season. Jack, Conrad, this has been the Footy 5. Please like, subscribe, give us some comments, tell us what you think. Look for us on the Twitter at the Footy 5. Take care now.